welcome back to the Talk at Elevation. I'm one of your co-hosts, Michaela Nagel. Next to me, Addison Perry. Today, we're joined by someone who has dedicated the last 16 years to shaping the future of young athletes and building strong, value-driven teams, Kyle Reese. A coach who has been at 7 different schools and a head coach for 5 years is here to share his teams and players' stories and coaching philosophy with us, from leading his team through challenges to making sure his athletes grow on and off the field. Thanks so much for joining us, Kyle. And before we dive in, we're going to talk a little bit about what Fan Day Nation has to offer.
Parents, you know how hard your athlete works and how much it means for them to be seen. Fan Day Nation gives them the confidence, visibility, and support they deserve. Don't let their moment pass by. Please give them a future they'll remember forever at fandaynation.com.
If you're still hunting for the perfect holiday gift, Nico Stones has bold, beautiful jewelry for everyone. They have chains, bracelets that shine under the tree and all year round. Find your sparkle at nicostones.com. Nico Stones, give a gift that wins. Kyle, thanks so much for being here and joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, so let's just dive into it. You're heading into your 16th year of coaching at 7 different schools and 5 years as a head coach. Take us back to the beginning. What first drew you to coaching?
Oh, I owe a lot of credit to Coach Tony Lindsay. Mm-hmm. He was a coach with Prince Hall in City Park. I don't know, like Denverites will know what I'm talking about. But City Park in the 80s and 90s when I was young, and he was our coach then. I played with his sons, and then he took the job at Denver South in 2007. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of made this call out of the blue. I think a couple of my friends were already on the staff and asked him if it'd be okay if I went over and coached with him. I just wanted to get back to the game. I'd been out of it for a few years. Mm-hmm. And he said, yeah, and it's been on ever since.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, there you go.
That's awesome. So you've described yourself as neither a player's coach nor an easy coach. How would you define your coaching philosophy in your own words?
Respect is the baseline of everything that we do. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when you got to correct that from time to time. Mm-hmm. It's inevitable. So that's why, you know, I'm not easy because I'm aggressive on those things. Like, no, we're going to go back to the respect part that we talked about before, right, and we're going to fix that. And sometimes that, you know, to a 15-year-old, that doesn't feel good. So right, that's not easy. I understand that, but it's necessary.
It is.
So, but at the same time, I want to have fun. I'd rather it be us having a good time, as long as we start everything off with I'm the adult. Yeah. I'm not your friend. Mm-hmm. I'm 44 years old. I don't need a 15-year-old friend.
No.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
weird.
So that's where a lot of the, you know, when there's issues, it's just because you have to reset your culture.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you got any like bad kids getting angry about that or kind of fighting back, you know, not giving you the respect that you deserve?
I don't know that I would say the respect I deserve. Mm-hmm. But I mean, kids don't like it. We were all 15 before.
Right.
So
deviant little things.
Yeah, I don't need to say any more than that, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So at the core of your program, there's 3 simple principles: show up, do what's asked of you, and do your best. Why are those values so important, and how do they show up in your day-to-day program?
I can't remember who I was talking to. It was just a couple weeks ago. And they said the most difficult wait at the gym is the door. Once you're there, once you're in the gym, you're okay. I think we all as adults can attest to that. Like the hardest part is actually getting to the gym or getting to this, whatever it is that you dread in your day-to-day.
Right.
So getting over that part. I don't necessarily want to get up for a 6 o'clock workout or 7 o'clock or whatever, right?
Yeah, I don't.
But once you're there and you're around your teammates, it's a little easier. So show up. That's half the battle. And then people will recognize the effort that it takes for you to show up consistently, and they'll meet you halfway a lot of the times. You know, even in your classroom, if you're there and you're attentive, the teacher will work with you. Now, if you're not there half the time, or if you're there and you're a jerk, then the teacher's probably not going to be willing to work with you.
Why would they want to help you?
Exactly. Yeah. Be the person that people want to help. So showing up is huge for us. And then did you do what was asked of you? And usually that's where we have the problem. Because it's just, you know, again, you know, we've all been there and you're trying to figure out life and your way of doing things. And so that young people struggle with that. and then did you do your best? And I think if you check all three of those boxes, you'll be an adult with very little regret, and then you'll be satisfied with your efforts. So that's the three easy pillars. Well, the three pillars that we have. I don't know if they're easy, but that's why we lead with those.
Absolutely.
So you said you're very honest and direct, not telling players something is good when it's not. Why do you think that level of honesty matters, especially for these young athletes?
One, because I struggle with telling you it's good when it's not. Now, as a married man, I'm working on that. But the deal is when you actually do issue that compliment, hey, man, that was great. That was outstanding. It lands a little bit differently.
Right.
Because,
it's more rewarding.
right. Coach doesn't tell us that all the time, you know, or I feel like he's being honest with me because the opposite end, he said, no, that stunk. And so I just think that there's not a whole lot of follow-up work that comes along with that. I don't have to explain, well, this is why I said it this way, or this is what I really meant. No, this is what I meant this time, and this is what I meant that time. And there's a good book out there that says, let your yes be yes and your no be no.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just a good life lesson in general for people to go into this world. Just kids especially need to learn that, you know?
They do, yeah, for sure. I think back to, my high school time. I was playing for this softball coach, and she was a hard ass. Like, she was very to the point, same kind of thing, not always, like, praising you, being like, oh, you did so good job, even if you sucked and stuff. And that's huge. And I think that shows the difference between coaches in a way, because they're not mean to you just to be mean to you. They're mean because they care and they want to be better. Not necessarily mean, but, like, efficient, straight to the point. And I think that makes you a great coach.
I can tell you that that's not going to work without being mean. You know what I mean? It's not my intent to be mean.
Right.
Now, if it's the sixth time I've told you, then
That's
that's different,
mean.
right?
I mean,
But
get a
I
little
can tell
angry.
you, hey, that's not that's not the effort that we need, or that's not the outcome that we're looking for in that. I don't necessarily have to be like, Addison, you know what I mean? I don't have to chew your head off to get my point across.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I just think it's easier.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a good coach that's like, oh, well, that was good. Good job.
Yeah, I'm like, what do I need to do? What do I need to fix?
It's
What's
like,
going on?
give me some.
Yeah.
That drives me crazy. Do you guys see that? That drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I would hate that,
absolutely. Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah,
Like,
there's no way that would just push you or get you to be better in a way. You just think you're good, and then you're not, and then it's going to hit you like a truck. So.
Yeah. That's a huge part of it is I've never coached like Little League. I've never coached sub-varsity. I shouldn't say I've never coached sub-varsity. I've always at least been on the varsity staff.
Right.
So, and part of it is just I probably don't have the temperament to coach.
And those are the kids that want to get better and need to be there.
And we can emphasize winning.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
that's just the way I am. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Not sorry.
Yeah.
People need it. For
Thanks.
sure.
When people hear Vista Peak Kids, you want that to mean something. How do you want your team to be seen by teachers, parents, and the community itself?
It goes back to the same thing, respect.
Yeah.
Right? Do you respect the adults in the building? Do you respect the adults in the community? Is it okay for you to wear your Vista Peak gear to the store and not be associated with some kind of negative anything that's going on in the neighborhood, right? Or, oh, there's one of those Vista Peak kids. Oh, my kid's coming there in 2 years. I can't wait to get there. Or is it like, you know what I mean? Because we've had that experience.
Right.
Yeah, you know, like the kids that you don't want your kids around. And I don't want my kids to be known as that.
Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
How does that kind of tie into you being a parent, too? And how you're going to raise your kids?
I don't know yet.
Still figuring it
I have
out?
no idea. No idea. My kids are relatively young still, but I mean, they're as you talk to your kids, you're like, I don't know if I want you hanging out with that kid. Or he said what? Make sure you're not that kid.
Right.
So I guess I am having some of those conversations already. I see Todd's nodding his head over there. I do have some of those conversations already.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. I think we said earlier, be the person that people want to help. So I don't think that's any different in what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
God.
Sorry, I was going to just ask, has your 7-year-old has an interest in sports yet, or is he in there?
Yeah, he loves football.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed to say this. I let him watch too much YouTube. I'm embarrassed by it. But he watches old football games. And
that's
so,
awesome.
yeah, he's like, yeah, so if Ed Reed was on the team, he everything would be okay.
Throwing it back.
Yeah. So he's into
That's
that. He's wrestling, which is cool because I have never wrestled, but his grandfather did.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
And so that's a way for them to connect, which I really appreciate. And I think it makes kids tougher.
Yeah.
It teaches them how to lose because when you're getting your tail kicked, it's like, so what? It's just, the kid is kicking your behind. There's nothing that anyone can do to stop it.
Exactly.
And so you learn how to lose that way.
Yeah.
And it's really tough on the dad to watch your son go through that.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
necessary.
wrestling's a tough sport to watch, especially if they're
Yeah.
on the
Oh, for sure.
bad end of it.
Have you guys ever done like any like individual sports?
Golf.
There you go.
That's a
There
big
you
one.
Yeah, you have no
Mental
one to
side.
blame.
No, exactly. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people find easy is to just blame a teammate.
Yep.
Be like, oh, well, they didn't give me that pass or they didn't do this or they didn't hit that ball. Well, it's a team sport and you got to go through that.
Yeah.
But then I think playing those individual sports are super important too because you need to establish that mental toughness in your own brain and be able to like bring out because golf is crazy. It's 90% mental. Like if you're gonna get pissed off, you're slicing the ball all day. You're screwed.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to figure it out. You got to learn how to take it into account and be like, all right, that was my bad. I'm gonna do this later because you can't, like you said, you can't blame anyone else.
Yeah. I was a thrower, so I stepped out a lot of times and just was cussing and throwing a fit, and I was like, all right, calm down. You got another throw.
I think it's good to have both sides, the team and the individual aspect.
Oh yeah, for sure. It teaches you to do both.
Oh yeah.
So you've seen a wide range of players throughout your career. What's your ultimate goal for every player that comes through you or is coached by you?
Be the best. Oh man, coach cliches. Here we go.
Be the best you can be.
Be the best.
When no one's watching.
You. There you go. You can go ahead, fill in the blanks. Be the. You already got it. But it is be the best you. Not everyone's going to be a Division I player. Not everyone's going to go to the pros. Very few will. But what's your max out look like? And so, I mean, that's pretty simple. It's just, you get the most out of it. Play the game as long as you can, as long as you're not, putting your family in harm's way or anything like that. You're not 31 years old still chasing it, in mom's basement. I'm just going to play for a couple more years. No, it's over. Start coaching. So, yeah, just max it out, whatever that looks like for you. And most people, okay, I've got all the juice out of this that I'm going to get, and it's time to take these lessons and apply it elsewhere.
Yep.
Right, for sure. So alongside being a coach, that adds the pressure of the recruiting process. You're involved in emailing these coaches, going through the recruiting process, taking kids to camps, and even sitting in meetings, acting as a parent to ask those tough questions. Why is advocacy such a big part of your role as a coach and as a person?
Well, that's part of it. Everyone has a dream of some type. So, I want to help young people fulfill it. And in large part, I want them to be better than I was. I wasn't a star player. I didn't have a great college career or anything like that. So, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, man, go do that. I want to go watch you play. I want to root for you. I want to watch TV and root for you. And so that's very fulfilling for me. So, but this is a different environment than I don't know, than maybe even what you guys experienced in terms of recruiting.
Oh, 100%. It's changed quick.
Yeah, and there's some things that I'm kicking and screaming on some of it. Like, I'm not doing that. I don't want. Like, what are we doing with some of this NIL stuff?
Yeah.
But you have to adapt. And Coach K from Duke, I say Coach K because I don't want to screw up his last name on camera. He talked about reinventing himself over the years. And he's had to do it multiple times. Like, he didn't want to be the coach that was on Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it now.
Right.
But if he was going to have success, he was going to have to go to that platform and figure it out and figure out his own identity within it. So that's a little bit of me. It's just, okay, how can I take these things and get the best out of them, even though I don't necessarily see them as universally good.
Right. How have you adapted the whole social media presence, especially that you're in the recruiting process?
Yeah, I don't. I can't stand it because I've taken like Myers-Briggs like 4 or 5 times. I'm an INTP, period. I'm an introvert. I don't necessarily want everyone in my business. I don't care to share all of my business.
Yeah.
And but that's not what today's environment requires.
Yeah.
So I do it to promote my players, and not much more than that. Every now and then I'll hear like a good song and I want to share it, and I'm like, that was stupid. Take that down. But yeah, I'm kicking and screaming on that too. I don't care for it.
Yeah.
But again, that's where the players are at. That's where the coaches are at. So you have to interact in that way. So it's a work in progress.
Absolutely.
And how have you seen that recruiting process change throughout the years? I mean, with the whole media and everything, what extra steps are these athletes having to take to become the best?
I'm still figuring that out.
Okay.
One, you've got to be elite, because there's guys that are sticking around in college for 5, 6, 7 years because it's more lucrative at that point, especially with the changes in junior college now. I mean, you could be a 23-year-old freshman.
Oh, yeah. We've got like a 30-year-old kicker at CSU.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
You're
and
like,
it just kicks
From
all the
Australia,
high
my
school
God.
kids further down the line. So I don't know how that's going to impact them. I feel like we're just coming out of the COVID deal.
Yeah.
Still.
So I don't know how these things are going to change, and but you just got to keep your ear to the street and keep. My thing is, don't get your ego tied up in it, because you do a lot of reaching out, and I don't deal with rejection well. So like if you ignore my DM, I'm like, you know what I mean? I got an attitude about it. I took the time, and my thing is, I don't hit coaches up if I don't believe. I'm not doing it just on behalf of the player. No, I believe. That this player can play at your level.
Yeah.
So, open the message.
Right. Answer me.
Yeah. So dealing with rejection is not a strong suit of mine.
Yeah.
But then my ego, I got to check my ego and say, you're not doing this for you. You're doing this for the player. So send the email, send the DM, send the follow-up. Stop getting your feelings hurt about it. So working through that part of it, because it is so competitive that they don't always have to answer your email.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
What kind of players do you look for just outside of the athletic spectrum? Like, are you looking at their social media pages? What are they posting? Stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily. I don't look for players. I mean, it's high school, so
Yeah, right.
you get what you get.
Yeah.
What's within your community. That's why I love our community so much, because it is a little bit isolated. But yeah, you do have to monitor that, because that can be an automatic DQ, right?
100%.
So post the wrong thing on Instagram, and nowadays it's so competitive that recruiters are looking just as much for a reason to not recruit you as they are to recruit you.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, you're drinking with your buddies on Instagram. Hope you had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. There goes your future.
Yeah. Now
There
it's
it
over.
is.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's done.
They
Yeah.
look at everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why wouldn't you? As much
Yeah.
money is involved in it.
It's so true. That's so true.
Absolutely.
So teams often go through different adversities throughout the season. Can you kind of touch on how you handle adversity when it comes up?
Oh yeah, no stranger to it. I think being honest, and just dealing with things timely, like letting things fester, I think makes things worse. We had a situation this year that was very, very difficult. And we didn't get all the timing right. You never do. It's never perfect. You always go back and say, I would have done something different. But if you, show up,
Boom.
do what the job requires, and do your best.
Yeah.
I think people, and that's another thing I would say as I interrupt myself. Look, your families and your players have to know that you are fighting for them, no matter what the adversity is. I had a situation a few years ago where I had to report an incident, something that a player had done to our administrative staff, because the coaching staff, their job was on the line. If I didn't, that was one of the most difficult things that I ever had to do as a coach. But then, you turn around and then you say, but this kid deserves another opportunity. And you go to bat for the kid. And while it was difficult, we all worked through it together. And the kid he was mad at me. Of course he was. I'd be mad too. And it did fracture our team for a little bit. So, but if you go to the bat for the kid and say, now I'm on your side,
Yeah.
I think that, help smooth things over. So just always let your families and kids know that you're going to fight for them.
Yeah, that's so important, especially just in any level of sports.
Yeah, well, you need someone to believe in you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
for sure.
I haven't always got that right, by the way. Like
Yeah.
it's been a little bit of a journey. But
You learn.
Yeah,
I mean,
no
it's your
doubt.
first time
Yeah.
in life, too.
Yeah.
First time being a
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah. I mean, and if there's, coaches out there that watch this, like, humble yourself, be committed to learning. You don't know everything.
No, you can always learn.
Always. And I don't care how, Coach K is a prime example of that. 30 years in the game and saying, I had to learn how to deal with social media. And today's athlete, that's a prime example of someone who's won national championships that said, I had to learn something new.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The world is
Absolutely.
rapidly changing, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You sound old when you say that. So don't say this world
I
is
thought about
changing.
when I was
Addison's
playing.
like, back in my day.
Yeah. Don't do that to yourself.
Well, I just think about me being an athlete versus
Yeah,
now. Like, that's
no, for
just
sure.
mind blowing. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being in high school and being like, all right, you got to promote yourself on media. You got to do this. You have to reach out to every single coach, do
Yeah.
this, make yourself up to be this person, do
everyone's
every
doing
extra
that now.
activity you can do, too.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It is crazy. As you look ahead to summer, clinics, coach education, and continued growth, what excites you most about the next phase of the program?
I am, in this stage, obsessed with the system.
Okay.
How do we do things? How do we structure practice? How do we structure our calendar? And a little less of the, and we're going to go in here and we're going to do 3 sets on the bench and 4 sets on the squat. That to me, that's a little further down the line. So that's where my head is at, is just creating systems. Urban Meyer had a book a few years ago that talked about, slogans versus systems, and how, okay teams have a lot of slogans and things. You walk in their locker room and this slogan is written on the wall and winners win every day and this, that, and the third. But what does the system look like in order to produce the outcomes?
Yeah.
So that's where my head is at.
There you go. What kind of ideas do you have for the upcoming season?
Ideas?
Yeah.
Win. There's that
There you
part.
go.
Winning is important.
Yeah.
So there's that part. I don't know. It's a different team. This year I was really fortunate. We'll have 3 D1 players on our team.
Wow.
Nice.
That's signed next month. So
It's huge.
yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
But them leaving is also very
I
huge.
bet that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like,
So,
oh, wait.
yeah, so you have to remedy that.
Yeah.
That's exciting. It's scary. And sometimes I've experienced like addition by subtraction in that regard. I didn't think we would be as good with this player gone, but we're actually better with these 2 players stepping in his place. And that doesn't say anything about the player that left. It says
Right.
something about the team that you're building.
And the adaptability they have and change. Yeah.
So that excites me. Like, okay, how are we? And let's go. I don't want to go all football talk, but how do we? We had a guy that could blow the top off the coverage this year. How do we get behind defenses and maintain our vertical threat so that we can still run the football the way we did this year?
Yeah.
Those are the things that I'm looking forward to.
Cool. And I think that's the whole part of the system, trying things that work, things that don't work, going through that process. And like you said, you lose those players and you gain new players, and it's all about just like molding and shaping that team.
Yeah,
So it's cool to have the basic, the roots for it.
It's
versus
fun.
the slogan.
Yeah.
it's fun. It's a little scary, but it's fun.
So scary.
Yeah.
But-
All right, last question for you. How do you want to be remembered?
Oh, yikes. I haven't thought about that. Maybe I think I'm too young to think about that
Yeah.
very much. I don't know. Maybe I'll just lean back into my 3 pillars.
Yeah.
Can you have 3 pillars? Do you need 4?
No.
No, I
Okay.
think 3 is
Okay,
fine.
Okay, you can
want.
have 3
You
pillars.
just
But
It's a triangle.
yeah, no doubt. We stand on that.
Yeah.
Hardworking for sure. Maybe even to my detriment sometimes. But I'm not afraid of hard work. I'm very much self-taught in a lot of regards, so I feel like I'm resourceful, and so able to pull all those things together, and so that I can share it with other people.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kyle, for sharing.
That's it?
But that's it.
Okay.
We did our all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And we're excited for you guys in the next season, building that structure and everything. And we wish you guys a lot of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Is there? I know you said you're not big on social media, but is there any way we can find you anywhere? People can follow you, follow the journey?
Yeah, at Coach Reese on X. And then, there's branches that go to our Vista Peak page. I'm a little embarrassed. I don't remember the exact Twitter or X handle for our Vista Peak football page, but it's not hard to find.
Yeah.
But yeah, at Coach Reese, and that's Reese, not C.
Right.
And then you can find all the fun things that I find a way to get into.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Appreciate it.
See you guys next time.